Queen Elizabeth is one of the most legendary figures in history, but with great power comes great speculation. Now, despite ruling England for 44 years, she left behind more questions than answers, fueling centuries of conspiracy theories. Was she the daughter of Henry VIII or the product of Anne Boleyn's rumoured affairs? Did she secretly marry Robert Dudley and bear his child? Some even claim she was a man in disguise or the true author of Shakespeare's works. While most of these theories are far-fetched, they reveal the world's enduring fascination with the Virgin Queen. Was she simply a brilliant strategist who kept her secrets well, or is there more to her story than history lets on? Let's now take a look into 7 of the most intriguing conspiracies surrounding Elizabeth I. Now, if you're new to the channel and enjoy the video, please leave a very large thumbs up, consider subscribing, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss any of our historical stories. So with that said, let's now go back to the 16th century and take a look at some of the most incredible conspiracy theories involving Elizabeth I. This wild conspiracy that Elizabeth I was actually a boy in disguise has been floating around for centuries, feeding on the public's love of intrigue and scandal. According to the story, young Elizabeth was sent to the village of Bisley during a bubonic plague outbreak in London. There she supposedly died of an unknown illness, throwing her caretakers into a panic. Faced with the wrath of the unpredictable King Henry VIII, they scrambled for a solution and settled on a rather dramatic one, finding a lookalike. As the tale goes, they found an effeminate young boy, dressed him in Elizabeth's clothes, and fooled the entire kingdom. That boy, so the theory claims, went on to rule England for 40 years. Absurd? Absolutely. However, the theory gained traction when Dracula author Bram Stoker published Famous Impostors in 1910, suggesting that Elizabeth might have been Henry VIII's illegitimate grandson. Supporters pointed to Elizabeth's masculine features, long fingers, a strong jawline, and even supposed facial stubble. They claim she wore heavy makeup to disguise her rough complexion and wigs to hide a receding hairline. Some even argued that this secret explained why she never married or bore children. In reality, the evidence is flimsy at best. Elizabeth's smallpox scars explain her heavy use of makeup, wigs were a fashion staple, and her decision to stay single was a masterstroke of political strategy. Given her father's marital track record, she knew marrying meant surrendering power, and instead she ruled England on her own terms, ushering in a golden age with no husband required. Queen Elizabeth I's refusal to marry has long fueled speculation, with some theorists suggesting a more sensational reason, and that she was intersex. According to this idea, Elizabeth was born with both male and female sexual characteristics, which explained her lifelong virginity. One researcher linked Elizabeth's physical traits, her tall, slender frame, long hands and athleticism, to testicular feminization syndrome. Individuals with this condition often appear fully female, but do not menstruate and may have an undeveloped reproductive system. Now, most historians, however, dismiss this theory outright. Elizabeth was frequently examined by doctors, closely watched by courtiers, and even spied on by foreign ambassadors. One ambassador even bribed a laundress for proof that the Queen still menstruated. Additionally, Elizabeth was rumoured to have had intimate relationships, particularly with Robert Dudley, and if anything about her anatomy had been unusual, it's unlikely such a secret would have remained hidden. A small but passionate group of literary scholars argues that William Shakespeare didn't write his famous works, and one of their most surprising candidates is Queen Elizabeth I. Now, there's no real evidence for this theory, but supporters point out that Shakespeare, a man from rural Stratford-upon-Avon, might not have had the courtly knowledge his plays display. His works also serve as Tudor propaganda, suggesting a possible royal connection. Now, Elizabeth was highly educated, known for her sharp wit, and even dabbled in poetry. And she also had a famously foul mouth, so the bawdier parts of Shakespeare's plays wouldn't have been out of character. Still, imagine a reigning monarch secretly penning 37 plays and 154 sonnets between affairs of state. Now even that stretches credibility. A long-standing rumour claims that Elizabeth I secretly married Robert Dudley while they were both imprisoned in the Tower of London. The Queen allegedly kept the marriage hidden to protect her reign, fearing that making Dudley her consort would spark a political backlash. But even more sensationally, some believe they had a child, none other than the philosopher Francis Bacon, who was supposedly raised by Elizabeth's trusted lady-in-waiting, Anne Bacon. Now, while Tudor fashion could have concealed a pregnancy, hiding it from her attendants who dressed and bathed her daily would have been nearly impossible, and as intriguing as the theory is, most historians dismiss it as pure fantasy. Rumours of illegitimacy have long haunted royals, and Elizabeth I was no exception, especially given that her mother, Anne Boleyn, was famously executed for adultery. Anne's flirtatious nature is well documented. It's how she won the affections of the already married Henry VIII, but some theorists suggest that she may have taken things further, secretly sleeping with other men to ensure a pregnancy. Now, if true, it was a gamble that failed spectacularly. In 1536, Anne was accused of infidelity with at least 5 men. Henry's chief minister, Thomas Cromwell, claimed the Queen's incontinent living was so rank and common that the ladies of her privy chamber could not conceal it. In truth, Anne's downfall had little to do with her virtue and everything to do with politics. Whether guilty or not, she had to go. Henry wanted a new wife, and history shows he always got his way. Among the many theories surrounding Shakespeare's true identity, one of the most popular suggests that Edward de Vere, the 17th Earl of Oxford, was the real author. Supporters argue that de Vere's life closely mirrors events in Shakespeare's plays. Now, a twist on this theory claims that de Vere and Queen Elizabeth were secret lovers and had a child named William Hughes. However, like most royal conspiracy theories, this one lacks real historical evidence. It's just a lot of speculation and wishful thinking. Though Elizabeth I was famously known as the Virgin Queen, many historians believe the title was more about politics than purity. As a female ruler in a male-dominated world, maintaining an image of chastity was crucial, especially since marriage remained a powerful bargaining chip in diplomacy. Despite this, Elizabeth was rumoured to have had intimate relationships with several men, most notably Robert Dudley, Robert Devereux, and the Duke of Anjou. Dudley, her childhood friend, seemed to hold a special place in her heart. Their open flirtation scandalised the court, prompting Elizabeth's counsellors to push for a more suitable husband. But the Queen was famously stubborn. She told her council she was open to marriage, yet allegedly told Dudley early on that she would never wed. Some suggest Elizabeth's reluctance to marry stemmed from trauma. As a teenager, she lived with her stepmother, Catherine Parr, and Parr's husband, Thomas Seymour, who was accused of behaving inappropriately with the young princess. Servants reported hearing strange noises from the chambers, and Seymour was later executed for treason. When questioned, Elizabeth denied any wrongdoing and firmly declared she was a virgin, a claim she would uphold for the rest of her life. Elizabeth I has long fascinated historians and conspiracy theorists alike, and it's no wonder her reign was marked by power, intrigue, and an almost mythical persona. From claims that she was secretly a man or intersex, to whispers of hidden marriages, illegitimate children, and even ghostwriting Shakespeare's plays, these theories reveal more about the world's enduring obsession with the Queen than they do about her actual life. At the heart of these wild speculations is a simple truth. Elizabeth was an enigma. She defied the expectations of her time, ruled with unmatched intelligence, and refused to be controlled by any man. Perhaps that's why the rumours persist, even centuries later. The idea of a woman wielding such power remains as captivating as ever. Now, whether history ever proves or disproves these theories, one thing is certain: Elizabeth I's legend will never fade.